This is exactly what intelligence officials feared would happen from the moment the U.S. began its buildup of forces near Iran. And now federal officials have gone so far as to warn local leaders in Minnesota about Iran's possible involvement in these cyber attacks targeting water and wastewater utilities. Sources told ABC News Iran is the prime suspect because the attacks align with Iran's capabilities, and there appears to be no ransom demand or other financial motive.
Could this be hackers putting the blame on Iran? They hit Minnesota. I thought that was like a Somalian community there across the state. What do you believe is happening here? I know that our water system is not the most protected, the most guarded. We know that, but now there's these fires happening all over the country as well. What do you need to put those out? Water. What does the fire destroy? Everything. So let's turn the tap off.
That you might see if this was the work of criminal actors. The hackers break in, they change passwords, blinding the utilities, leading to loss of control over systems and equipment. In some cases, water pressure drops, potentially allowing untreated groundwater to seep into pipes. In other cases, hackers disabled alarms, allowing wastewater systems to enter unsafe conditions without anyone knowing, George.
So, wastewater, that's the dirty water. We'll call it gray water. I think that's what we called it in the Navy. That gets into the freshwater system. People get sick. People have diarrhea. Think about what just happened with this cyclospora. Everybody blamed Taco Bell, right? The Montezuma's revenge. Could it be Tehran's revenge? I mean, I wouldn't put it past these people.
Yeah, there's no evidence yet that the water is unsafe, but what are the state officials doing?
Yeah, right now the FBI and the EPA are actively warning state officials in at least 7 states, and it could grow beyond that, George, to disconnect their systems from the internet, or at least use a system that has some kind of a breaker. They're also urging utilities how to figure out how to revert to manual controls in the event that automated systems are somehow compromised. Security and intelligence officials have been warning this is exactly how Iran would retaliate, that Iran poses just this kind of threat, not only to water systems, but to other critical infrastructures. But the priority now is safeguarding the water supply as the war in Iran is well into its 6th month.
I really believe that this is a possibility. At first, I'll be the first to admit, didn't believe it. And part of it is the location. Why would they go after Minnesota, Michigan? Why would they do that? Well, it's trying to make a little more sense because those are battleground states coming up into these upcoming midterm elections. These are battleground states where the Democrat Party believes they are losing ground. And if you stirred some stuff up, you sowed some division in those states, because the president's not really liked there. There's a lot of support for the most peaceful religion. This could really cause some problems here. Real problems.
The U.S. is investigating if Iran was behind a cyber attack on water systems in 7 states, including Minnesota. Now, officials say the drinking water supply wasn't compromised, but the FBI says incidents have caused loss of control, drops in water pressure, even flooding nationwide. And in Minnesota, more than 30 community water systems have been impacted, and some utilities had to disconnect equipment and even switch to manual operations. The targets, digital controls that help run wells, pumps, water towers, even sewer systems.
This is perfect. This is exploitation of a weakness. Very much so. This affects a lot of people with pets, with animals, with dogs, cats, farmers, families, kids. You start cutting off people's water. How many of you keep a 5-day supply of water on hand? How many? You got to have it to flush your toilets, right? Yellow, let it mellow. Brown, flush it down. You'll hear that whenever all the water shortages are happening.
Investigators are looking at whether Iranian hackers were responsible, but there's no official attribution yet. They're also trying to figure out whether another actor may have tried to make the attack look Iranian amid the conflict overseas.
Blame somebody else while they do it. Think about it. It would be perfect. You got stories coming out of Denver. Cyber attacks have been reported on local water facilities across 7 states, marking one of the broadest escalations attacks critical utilities in several years. Think about our power grid. Think about these transformer stations that are just so wide open. And we know we've got these cells here. We know we've had 100 million people come across our southern border. All of them are peaceful religions. None of them think that we're the white devil, right? I mean, that's what is happening, ladies and gentlemen. This article here is coming out of Breitbart. FBI warns of cyber attacks on municipal water systems across 7 states. I am worried about this. Look at this. Neither Minnesota officials nor the federal government have publicly attributed the activity in Minnesota to a specific threat terror. There's even a clip or a statement here. President Donald Trump addressed the Minnesota attack in remarks to reporters Friday at Camp David. Says the Democrat vice presidential nominee in 24 election. I think I blame it on Minnesota because they're grossly incompetent. You could probably blame it on the city or the state of Minnesota. You probably could, and people would get away with that. But we're 7 months in with this, with this war over there. Listen to what MSNBC says about this.
Tonight, the FBI warning cities across the country about cyber attacks to municipal water systems, writing utility companies in at least 7 states have reported incidents to the FBI, and some of that activity degraded water operations. In Minnesota alone, more than 30 municipal water systems have been targeted, and a senior law enforcement official has told NBC News that
if it was 1 or 2, but 30
attack bears all the hallmarks of Iranian-backed hackers. Though today, President Trump denied Iran was behind it.
I don't think so. I think I blame it on Minnesota because they're grossly incompetent.
Minnesota's Democratic Governor Tim Walz firing back. Trump knows exactly who's responsible for this attack and knows that other states were hit too, adding it further illustrates there's no plan to win a war with Iran.
Well, this could very well be a mostly peaceful but targeted attack on the water system. I mean, his wife probably loves the smell of, dirty water in the morning.
Iran's got bigger problems than worrying about Minnesota.
Back in April, after the start of the Iran war, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, warned of Iran-affiliated hackers trying to exploit a specific piece of equipment.
This is a wake-up call, not a catastrophe.
Cynthia Kaiser is a former deputy director of the FBI Cyber Division.
Is the water supply safe?
Yes, there does not appear to have been any effect on water quality as a...
She has to say that. People would go into an absolute frenzy if she didn't say that.
Part of these attacks. But the reality is that we have to be looking to the future about when these types of attacks could become a lot more consequential.
Cybersecurity.
Yeah, what else do they go after? That's where I'm at. What do they target next? What do they target next? Because we're seeing this happen across the United States right now.
Wildfires near Spokane, Washington, forcing 60,000 people to evacuate. Hundreds of structures have already been destroyed. Firefighters are desperately trying to contain the flames, but hot and dry conditions are expected to remain throughout the region this week.
So you look at this damage here, and then you target the water supply. Is that a coincidence or a very well-planned operation? We know we have cells here. We know there are people in this country that don't like us, that hate us, that would love to see us fail, that would love to make any mechanism the United States is involved in look bad. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment down below. You going to gather some water, put some water back? Might not be a bad idea, huh? This is the Ben Dykes Show. Hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.